Good evening, girls. How are ya?
Good.
What?
Good.
You're good? So we haven't had Quack Chat in a couple weeks, have we?
And we see how much hash brown.
You want what? A hash brown. You love hash browns any time of the day. My girls love their hash browns, don't they? Yes.
Really good.
So we haven't had any Quack Chat and Stinky Feet. So we haven't had any Quack Chats in a couple weeks, and that is because Mommy was getting ready to take you to
Disney World.
So we were in Disney World for a long time.
And all day.
We were there for Kylie's celebration for her adoption day.
And me.
And you celebrated your 10 months gotcha day there. 10 months that you've been home.
Wow.
Kalysta? Yes?
Wow.
Wow. And Mommy turned 40.
Yep. She's pretty old.
And I'm turning 40.
You're 4, Mommy's 40. You know.
4.
Oh, you're 4. Okay.
Just wait until she turns 41.
So we originally had big plans for me turning 40. We were going to go to fly into San Francisco. We were going to do the Walt Disney Family Museum. Then we were going to drive up the coast. And then we were going to go to California. And we were going to see Jackie. And then we were going to do Disneyland.
Yeah.
So Kylie thinks at this point that we are never making it to Disneyland because the last 2 years that we have made plans, something has come up. Last year, Kalysta, we got her file and we had to go to China to get her, so we had to cancel Disneyland for last year. And this year we had to cancel Disneyland, well, because it was closed. So we're really hoping that it opens up again soon so that we can finally get Kylie to the place, which, and I don't know if you know this, do you know that the last time I was in Disneyland, I gave up all things Disney until you were home?
And I was not home.
I did not know that.
Yes. So, going back to Disneyland is going to have a lot of emotions for Mommy because both of you will be here the next time I walk down Disneyland, like in Main Street.
So you'll feel like a child when you get there?
Yes, but I think I'll have a lot of happy tears because that's where I also told Bammy and Pappy that I was going to adopt. So, there's a lot of magical moments there, so I'm excited to take both of you back. We went back to Disney World.
Yeah.
And we stayed at the Riviera for 2 nights, 3 nights. I don't remember.
2 nights.
2 nights?
2 nights.
We stayed at the Riviera for 2 nights. And I'm obsessed with it. Because why?
It felt like Shanghai.
It did. It felt like Shanghai. I said when I walked in, we had to change your clothes because we were still in plain clothes. And what are you doing?
What is she doing?
Making cross eyes. We had to change your clothes because you were still in your airplane clothes. And it was cold in Pittsburgh when we left it. And then it was 95 in Florida when we landed. And whenever we were changing our room, our room was not ready yet. And I came walking down the hall and I passed the library that has the books from Walt and past all the pictures. And I rounded the corner and I said to Bammy, I think I'm in love with this hotel because it reminds me of Shanghai. And Bammy said, oh my goodness, I was just sitting here thinking the same exact thing. It even smells like the Shanghai Disney Hotel. I got super excited about that, and it just has a lot of the same feel, obviously on a smaller scale, but I really liked it. So then we checked into a 2-bedroom at Copper Creek. You laugh. At Wilderness Lodge. And that is our favorite resort. Prior to Mommy staying at Riviera, Pappy still loves Wilderness. You guys still love Wilderness. I'm a little bit mildly obsessed with the Riviera, so I don't know if it's my new favorite.
Well, I kind of like the pool at the other resort we were at.
At Wilderness.
The castle.
At Riviera.
I like the castle.
Well, we know you like the castle, Kalysta. But the water slide at Riviera was bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
And it was, the pool was shallow.
Oh yeah, and the pool you walked into, it was easier to get into. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyways, so what we started off, we went to Hollywood Studios and we got to ride Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
It was so fun.
So fun.
Goofy really has to, train before he gets on the ride. He conducts.
He conducts the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should really learn how to drive it better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't watch any YouTube videos, and I watched nothing on it whatsoever, which was hard because we've been to Disney a couple times, and the last time when we were there over Labor Day, we did not go to Hollywood Studios. We just stayed at Magic Kingdom because it was a quick trip. And I did not want to watch any videos for Runaway Railway because I didn't want to spoil it, because I kind of wanted to experience like a kid would experience. And I got off and said I thoroughly enjoyed that. And we rode it twice. We actually rode it twice because we went to Hollywood Studios 2 days. We rode it twice.
Hey, how about the day we rode Tower of Terror?
So that's another one.
How are we?
Kalysta was tall enough to ride Tower of Terror. Kylie's not a fan of it. Did you like it? What did it do? And you dropped. Kylie screamed. I did record the entire ride, which we will have to put up on our videos because Mommy has so many videos to catch up on. I just haven't had time. But now I have time so we can catch up on all of our videos. And you got off Tower of Terror and you said, I like that.
I like that.
Because we were falling, huh? So that...
I like that.
Did you? And we rode Slinky Dog.
Slinky Dog.
Yes. And we did Toy Story Mania. And I beat Pappy again with all the scores. I beat everybody, as I always do.
I like Slinky Dog. No, Vanessa. No, Mommy.
But, I really did enjoy. Oh, and then we rode, we watched, Frozen. The Frozen show is back.
I like Slinky Dog.
And it was so funny.
So funny, Slinky Dog.
Yeah, I like the part when the man says, hey, can you Google what happens next?
It's the best show on property, hands down.
I said, Bama, can you give me?
Oh my goodness, she is crazy. So I was excited that the Frozen show was back. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway really made me happy.
Yeah.
And I like Minnie.
We rode it a second time.
Yes. What was your favorite part about the ride?
Daisy saying, she's saying, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then Conga!
and Daisy, see, Mommy's Daddy's.
And we got a souvenir.
Oh, we do have a souvenir. I forgot about that. That's just sitting there. So that is what the Runaway Railway looks like. That's actually like one of those like pool toys. But then whenever you're on the ride, the part where you sit in, it disconnects and Goofy like disappears. And you're all over the place.
Uh-huh.
It's great.
Like there's a tornado.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Woo! Faso.
Yes.
They got Faso.
Yes. And then we went to Epcot. And it rained.
Yep. 100%.
It rained on us. It was sunny whenever we got there. And we did get to see a character cavalcade. And then all of a sudden...
Before the rain arrived, I was eating a Mickey pretzel.
I was not eating apple. I don't like it.
Yeah, you are not a fan of pretzels, but you are a fan of all kind of flavored drinks and pops and frozen whatevers.
Mine, yours.
What were you drinking? Like a blue raspberry Slurpee or something like that?
No, she drank your Slurpee.
Red.
You're right, she did. She did, because I got one and I turned around to go get something for you, and by the time I came back, because the pretzels were not ready.
Gone.
And then I came back and Kalysta had finished the entire Slurpee.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
After we were done with the pretzels and the Slurpees, we got in line for Soarin, and Kalysta was tall enough for Soarin.
Oh, tell them about her yelling, and you say, "Look, guys," and she says, "Oh."
So she loved Tower of Terror and she loves her roller coasters. But when we rode Soarin, she picked her feet up and she just started yelling, "I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this." Picked her feet up and like had them under her butt at that point instead of hanging from the chair. And I said, "Stick your feet out and look at your feet." And she looked at her feet and I said, "You're not moving." And she went, "Oh."
I said, look at your feet. So, ow.
Yes. And then you liked it. And we flew over China.
It was like slowly and it was not moving.
Yeah.
And so,
Why can't I hear her? Her.
Well, you were too busy like watching it. Plus, they had those plastic dividers in between the seating groups.
So it's soundproof.
Well, it's not soundproof. I just don't think that you could hear her. And you were on the other side of Pappy, and Pappy was next to her. So Pappy heard her. So I think you were just like 2 people away. So we did that in Epcot, and we rode Test Track.
Yeah.
I was driving crazy with Bammy.
Kalysta lost her mask. All I saw was the mask start to come off her face, and I reached up and I grabbed it. So I imagine a lot of people lose their mask on that ride because it goes so fast.
Hold on. How did Kalysta do?
She did good. I don't know. I'll have to watch the videos. I have all the videos.
Better than me?
Oh no, you love that ride.
And better to me stinky feet.
No stinky feet. So I'll have to watch all the videos to see how she did because I kept the camera on her the entire time, so I'll have to play it back.
Alright.
We walked through Food and Wine Festival and we ate at Le Cellier in Canada. And we got poutine.
Oh, and there was a delicious dessert.
Kylie is not a fan of sugar.
I'd like to drink.
Kalysta is a fan of sugar. Kylie loves her vegetables and chocolate milk. That's about as sweet as you will get. But they had this pecan dessert. With this maple ice cream, and it was amazing. We were fighting over it, me and you. Yes. So we will have to eat there again and get that dessert.
Yeah.
It was a delicious surprise.
Listen, pot.
And then it started raining again, and then it cleared up. We rode Spaceship Earth. You know, one last time before it goes down for refurbishment. Hopefully maybe the next time we're there it'll still be up so we can ride it another time.
Yeah.
Yes. We did not ride the Donald ride in Mexico because the line was insane. And then when it did stop raining, you guys went back to the Riviera to swim with Bammy and Pappy, and Mommy went around Epcot by herself. I did. And I will say that although I missed you terribly, I got some good shopping done.
Miss you, Mommy.
Yes, I got some good shopping done.
I miss you, Mommy.
But I will say that what I do love about the Riviera is that Skyliner gets you to those parks so quickly. So quickly.
So quickly.
Yes.
But buses take a little time.
Buses do take a little time, and we were socially distanced on the buses to go to the parks once we went to Copper Creek. So when we got to Copper Creek for Mommy's 40th birthday week beginning celebration after we had been in Disney for a few days, we stayed in a 2-bedroom villa in Copper Creek, and it was fabulous.
Got my own bed to myself.
Got your own bed to yourself. There was a jacuzzi tub that you two thought was a pool. Basically, every day you would come back from swimming at night, and you two would... and you would turn the bubbles on in the jacuzzi pool. And Kylie had to be homeschooled when we were there, like, because of the distance learning. So we still had to do school while we were away, which we did every single day. Kylie was thoroughly annoyed by it, but we had 3 balconies at that room. We had a full kitchen, so we could have breakfast there every morning. We ate at Whispering Canyon Cafe, which was delicious. Kylie got these nachos. You ate nachos, and what else? Kalysta got a salad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else?
And for dessert, I got...
Oh, you got some like chocolate lava cake, and I am not a fan of chocolate cake. And you like ate the whole thing.
I don't like
Not the whole thing. Half of it.
Yeah, I don't like chocolate cake. I'm not a fan.
me either.
And we did Magic Kingdom on my birthday. And we got some pixie dust because I had a little sash and a tiara that I had that said like 40, and it was fabulous. And one of the cast members let us go to the front of the line at Mine Train. She let us go through the Fast Pass queue.
Let it go, let it go.
Let It Go, Let It Go was at Hollywood Studios. You loved that show though, didn't you? You were dancing with Elsa.
I'm the birthday queen.
Let it go.
So, she
Let
must
it
have saw that.
go, let it go.
I was the birthday queen.
You was queen?
I am the queen.
You're not queen.
I'm the queen of Disney.
No.
Yes.
No.
Then who's the queen of Disney?
Kyliahna.
And I rode, well, the first thing that we did when we got into Magic Kingdom is I rode Haunted Mansion. Because it's my favorite ride.
I got mask and make you.
You got a Haunted Mansion face mask like Mommy did.
I like how mansion.
You do like Haunted Mansion. And we rode Splash Mountain quite a few times throughout the entire week.
And one time, I sat on a step.
Yes.
Next time, I'm going in front.
Are you? So Kylie decided to be brave because with 5 of us, someone always...
Okay, Kalysta, you can.
Someone always has to ride with Kalysta, so Kylie said, I want to ride by myself. And you rode with your hands up and everything. You love that ride.
Yeah.
And then the last time we rode it before we ended the trip, you rode in the front with Pappy, and we got soaked. Like, soaked.
And I got so too.
Did
He
you?
was so soaked that Pappy, his hair went,
It went flat.
yeah.
It did.
I got
And his glasses
on
went
my
wet.
shirt. I got my shirt.
Did you?
You should have looked at your face.
Oh, me. I just want.
But we got to see the Halloween, the Cadaver Dans were singing. We got to see the Halloween cavalcades with Oogie Boogie and Jack Skellington.
And we were behind him.
And we were behind him walking in the parade at one point.
And pointed man.
Oh, last trip, remember this? We have to wear in dresses. Dresses. I was so hot.
Oh yes, so the girls have now turned a corner.
So cold.
That they are all about wearing dresses in the park because they are airy and flowy. So now they all just want to wear tank top dresses in the park because they said that it's cooler that way. So I think I've converted both of them to wearing dresses.
Yep. With shorts.
You weren't cold, you're crazy. And Kalysta went down the water slide.
You should have seen her. She went backwards.
Like,
Yes, and then what else did we do? We went to Animal Kingdom. And we rode Flight of Passage. Kalysta's still too tiny for that. And
before we rode the Flight of Passage, we ate, so I felt rocky when we got back to the hotel.
yes. You gotta be careful if you went out not to eat before you get on that ride. But we had a good time in Animal Kingdom. And then we came back and swam. We went to Disney Springs. Kylie got poutine again in Disney Springs.
yeah.
Mommy went shopping at the World of Disney, and I am the best mom ever because there was one thing that I purchased in that store.
And
Thank the Lord above. And what did I come out of there for after I waited in line to get into the store?
My Mulan costume.
Yes. Kylie wanted the new Mulan costume that we could not find anywhere in her size, so we had to go all the way to Disney World to get it. And I got it. And you're super excited to wear it. Because you're going to look exactly like Mulan this Halloween.
Just part the hair and roll up the sleeves, okay?
Okay, I will do it.
Lion.
Because it can show your face better.
So you the face.
Like, what episode
Yes.
are we on?
I don't know. I'm going to have to check whenever I upload this. And I'll have to let you know. And then we're going to have to start uploading all of our videos. So I think I'm going to bring you in, Kylie, to give us an opinion on all of our park videos. Yes.
What are we?
Yeah, I don't know what number we are on. And, oh, and we went fishing. We did the fishing charter on Bay Lake.
And I got 2 fish on my rod.
2 at one time.
I
caught the biggest fish ever.
I got big fish.
You did. We caught a total of, we figured out, 44 fish in a 4-hour fishing charter.
Like, Pappy's went back in the water.
And Bammy, even at one point, she was reeling in a fish and she caught a rod. She caught another rod and a fish. So she brought up a rod from the bottom of the lake and with the fish.
Mommy.
What? And Mommy doesn't fish. No.
You're not all about the fish.
No. Mommy just takes the pictures and stays far away from the fish. But it really was a good time. And we're going to do it again. But Mommy got to see some...
But we're going to do it again.
Yeah. We're going to do it on our next trip. Which won't be for a while.
Big fish. And
Because Pappy really enjoyed it. And Pappy said he really enjoyed it. So if anybody wants to do the fishing charter, I highly suggest it, and I can totally hook them up with how to do it.
I don't like fish.
You don't like fish? Yeah, you wouldn't touch them. And we were using live bait, so we were like using live fish to catch the bigger fish.
And
Worms are better.
Stiff lamb.
And what else did we do? Did we do anything else? We did some shopping. We took tons of pictures.
You like took a million pictures of us holding your fish.
I know. Well, we caught so many fish.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You can say picture.
Okay, so I don't know when we're going to go back. Because our passes expire in November. Well, Kalysta's doesn't, but ours. So we'll see about renewing them and see about going back.
And Pappy says we're going...
Next November. Pappy said that he's ready to go back next November.
And you said I'm going to be 9?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And you said I'm gonna be 4.
Okay, you're crazy. Who knows what you're saying? So anyways, I was thinking Kalysta finally got her birth certificate, her U.S. birth certificate, which means I can apply for a passport. And I'm thinking,
I got tickets.
how about we go on a Disney cruise?
Yes, please.
Yes, come on.
What if we take a Disney cruise maybe next summer? I know it's too far away, but they aren't cruising right now. I wanted to do a Marvel one, but we'll see.
They have the huge water slides.
They do.
Really big.
Depending on when the cruise line starts sailing again, and if Disneyland opens back up, there's just craziness going on with the restrictions that the guidelines they have to follow to open back up. I don't know which one we will do first, but I think that should be next on our list. I think that I should get you girls on a Disney cruise. And you have really wanted to do one for a while.
Just don't get seasick, okay?
I will try not to.
Oh, and it says, family says it's like you're not even moving.
Yes.
And this big slide.
Yes, there'll be a big slide.
And
I also told Kylie the next time that we go to the parks, I think we should take a day and we should just do one of the water parks at Disney. So that Kylie can go on all the big slides.
Okay.
I will do this.
You would do that? You're crazy.
Oh, and I hear there are many hidden Mickeys in the Mickey cruise.
There are tons. Do you know where there was a lot of hidden Mickeys though, and I kept finding them like non-stop, was at the Riviera. They were in the floor, they were in the carpets, the lights made hidden Mickeys. There were so many hidden Mickeys. And do you know what I really loved most about that resort? And I'm not going to say that it smelled like Shanghai Disney or that the lobby with looking out into the courtyard feel. When you pulled up there, and I think that all hotels should do this, when you pulled up to the hotel, there was a giant sign on the top of the hotel that said,
Diane.
"Welcome home."
Diane.
And I love that.
Diane.
She's crazy.
Massive big
Well, I appreciate you girls doing this Quack Chat for me. And it's Halloween. Halloween.
Halloween.
Which is your favorite holiday.
It is my favorite holiday.
Cheese.
Trick or treat.
And still, if it cancels, broken. She's gonna be broken.
Yeah, I don't think at this point they're gonna cancel it, but we'll have to see. But yes.
Sister, tricky.
Trick or treat. So maybe we'll have to do another Quack Chat over the weekend with you girls in your Halloween costumes.
Get candy.
And you're gonna get candy.
Oh,
I
and you
like candy.
every single time when we celebrate Halloween, you tell me to get nut M&Ms.
Yes, don't get the plain ones. If you have the option at the door, you get the ones that are peanuts. You don't get the plain ones. The plain ones you use for baking.
But I'm still gonna get the nut ones.
Yes.
And this Halloween.
Yes.
And last year I got a big bag of them.
Big bag.
And there was
And you said, "Oh yeah, baby." But she was scared of the dragon.
What dragon?
You know, the knocking thing.
Oh, the Halloween bathroom. Oh yeah, you were scared of that. So I turned it off. But newsflash, I'm turning them all back on Halloween night. So everything's going on.
yeah.
The talking witches, the talking ghosts, everything.
And talking
Uh,
ghosts and
even-
whistles.
You're gonna work that.
Whistles hang up. Scary.
Yeah, my most fear is
And
the
I'm the one
skeleton
scary
that's
that's
hanging up on the lights.
Ding, ding, ding. I'm the like scary dad.
Hang up a ghost or something?
Yes, they're all getting turned back on. So stay tuned, girls. Stay tuned.
But I'm the
alright.
like
All right. Okay, Kalysta's just going to keep talking forever because that's what she likes to do. So thank you, girls, for doing this Quack Chat. And I really had a great time in Disney.
welcome.
I really had a great time in Disney with you. And thank you for giving me the best birthday present ever because I have both of you home with me on my birthday this year.
And I gave Mama a special birthday card, which we prove that we love you.
Yes. I love you both so much.
And I love you too. Mm-mm.
You're the best kids ever. Well, you are. Kalysta keeps me on my toes. All right, girls. Well, thanks for doing this. See you really soon.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.